Smith was in the garage working on his '71 Chevelle. Been in the family forever. Some folks said he only fixed it up to look cool. Yeah, it was a badass car, but that wasn't the real reason. For Kevin, it was peace. His way of keeping sane. Every bolt he tightened, every time he waxed the hood, it felt like he was spending time with someone he lost. His parents were gone. Both. He loved them more than life. This car wasn't a hobby, it was therapy. Kevin was Irish and Polish, 5'9", still built like the boxer he used to be in high school. Didn't go pro, but he kept the muscle. Now, cars were his world. Of all the machines he'd touched, nothing came close to the Chevelle. He remembered his dad pulling him out of school early for doing good on tests. They'd ride around, hit movies, theme parks, just drive with no plan. Magic times. Hell, his dad met Kevin's mom in that car. And Kevin, he was made in that car. That fact still made him laugh when he fired the engine up. He could still hear his dad brag about it. 700 horses, 500 torque, pure steel frame. "It ain't a car, kid," he used to say. "It's a beast." Kevin looked up at a photo on the wall. Him as a kid, standing between his parents. Mom, Maria, pretty Polish lady, soft smile, black hair. Dad, Luke, tatted up, thick arms, grinning in his tank top. Little Kevin, front teeth missing, Ninja Turtle tee, smiling wide. Right in front of the Chevelle. A tear slid down his face. "I miss you guys," he whispered. They died right after his high school graduation. Wrong place, wrong time. Bank robbery. The shooter crashed into their car during the escape. Saw they could ID him, so he pulled the trigger. Cold. Cop shootout later that day ended him. Didn't fix the hole he left in Kevin's chest. But then there was Shelley. "Shelley," he said under his breath, like her name might bring her back. What followed wasn't peace. It was pain, lies, chaos. And in a sick way, he was glad his parents didn't live to see it. "Damn," he muttered. "How long's it been?" Footsteps, hard ones. He looked up. A woman was coming down the driveway. Late 20s, maybe. Short blonde hair, ice blue eyes, athletic build. German looked at her. He didn't know her, but her face said she definitely knew him, and she wasn't happy. Can I help you?" Kevin asked. She glared at him like he'd kicked her dog. "You selfish piece of crap." Kevin raised a brow. "Okay, angry lady, I don't know who the hell you think I am, but you need to turn around and walk." She didn't walk. She snapped, swung at him, screaming, "You son of a witch! You ruined everything!" Kevin didn't punch back. He didn't need to. He caught her wrist, spun her around, slammed her down on the bench. She gasped, shocked. He leaned in, voice low, cold. "All right, this stops now. I don't care who you are. You come at me swinging, I push back, man or woman, got it?" She froze. "I'm letting go. You talk. You tell me what the hell this is about. And you better do it calm, because next time you move like that, I break your arm, toss you out, call the cops, and press charges fast." He pointed up. "See that? Cameras. All of them on. Everything's recorded." She looked up. Her face went pale. "We good?" he asked. She gave a small nod. He let her go, walked over to the cooler, cracked open 2 Cokes, came back, made sure she saw him pocket a screwdriver. She saw. He handed her one. "So," he said, "you always introduce yourself by throwing hands, or is today just special?" She hesitated, then sighed. "You're right. I shouldn't have come at you like that. But Coke or no Coke, I'm not sorry for calling you out. You are a piece of crap." Kevin smirked, just a little. "Fair enough," he said. "At least you're honest. Now, tell me, what's your beef with me?" She stared at him. "You really don't know who I am, do you?" Kevin frowned. "Should I?" "It's me," she said. Her voice cracked. "Kate, I'm your daughter." Kevin's eyes went wide. Time froze. Her words hit him like a truck. His brain scrambled, heart sank. But deep down, some part of him wasn't shocked. He'd felt this storm coming for years. He stared right at her. "Hey, Kate, I'd ask how your mom's doing, but I don't give a damn." Kate swung at him, fast. But he caught her wrist, tight. She winced. "Look," Kevin said, calm but firm. "I didn't know who you were, all right? I ain't psychic. But that don't give you a pass to swing on me in my own place." He let go. She pulled back, rubbing her wrist, eyes wet. And then she broke. "Why?" she said, voice shaking. "Why'd you leave us? I was at Grandma's. I come home and Mom's on the couch, crying her eyes out. You were just gone. No note, no call, nothing. She told me you found some witch and bailed. Just left us like trash." Her voice cracked, but she kept talking. "You know what it's like growing up without a dad? Watching other kids get hugged on their birthday? Wishing mine was there when my first boyfriend dumped me because I wouldn't sleep with him. Hiding on prom night so nobody saw me cry. She wiped her face, kept going. No one cheered for me at graduation. No one helped me learn bills, get a car, teach me life crap. And when I almost got attacked at a party, guess what I thought? Kevin looked at her, heart sinking. I thought, I wish my dad was here. I passed out drunk, woke up with my pants half off. Some dude standing over me. Someone walked in and scared him off. If they hadn't, I don't even know. Silence. Kevin's voice dropped. I'm sorry that happened, Kate. He got up, didn't say more. Just walked into the house. Left her in the garage, sobbing alone. She looked up. Where are you? You leaving again? She stood up to leave too, but the door opened. Kevin walked back in, holding an old binder. I made some sandwiches. We need to talk. They sat, ate in silence. Then he pushed the binder toward her. This is yours after I'm done talking. Do what you want with it. But know this, I didn't mean to hurt you. I did what I had to. You ready? She stared at him, wiped her nose, nodded. Go. Kevin sat back. I grew up in St. Louis. Mom was a science teacher. Dad worked on cars. They were immigrants, Polish and Irish, real proud folks. I skipped a grade, finished school early, went all in on mechanics. He paused. They died when I was 17. Bank robbery gone wrong. I lost it. Took their savings, moved east, ended up in York, Pennsylvania. Kate blinked. She realized she never knew any of this. That's where I met your mom, Christina. Walked into the shop, panicking about her dash light. She thought she broke her parents' car. It was just a sensor. I fixed it. We laughed. I got her number. He smirked. She was still in school. I was 18, had a beat-up place and a job. She thought I was the coolest dude alive. We clicked fast. She brought me lunch at work. I went to her games. Then, yeah, we got close. Kate made a face. Kevin chuckled. I'll skip the details. Point is, she got pregnant. Told me right after I proposed. I was scared as hell. But I saw her smile, thought of you, and I knew I had to step up. He leaned in. Her parents hated me. Her dad was a loudmouth wrestler type, tried to bully me. I didn't flinch. Her mom, high-powered exec, thought I was trash, talked down to me. I stayed chill, but I kicked back when needed. He shook his head. They weren't my people. But I didn't hate them. Just never needed their approval. Kevin took a long sip of Coke, then kept going. The day you were born? That was the best damn day of my life. You came out screaming like a banshee, kicking, punching, mad as hell. But the second they handed you to me, you looked up and smiled. His eyes got glassy. Kate's did too. First 5 years, they were good, real good. We had a nice spot, good street, solid neighbors, work was great. I was killing it with engine work and wiring jobs. People knew my name. Your mom coached cheer at her old school, won 3 national titles. He gave her a small smile. And you were magic. Smart, funny, full of love. I loved our little family. Even your grandparents came around. We weren't tight, but we got cool. Those years, I'd live them again in a heartbeat. Kate smiled, eyes still wet. Remember when you made me laugh so hard chocolate milk came out my nose, all over the couch? Kevin chuckled. Hell yeah, your mom was pissed, said the couch was done for. I hit it with club soda and elbow grease, mostly got it out. They both laughed. But then Kate's smile dropped. Her voice turned low. If that was your best time, why'd you bail? Kevin let out a slow breath, took a beat before answering. It started changing when you turned 8. It was your birthday. We were heading to Chuck E. Cheese. Your mom was setting stuff up. I offered to help. She told me to back off, not to screw it up. Snapped a bit, then kissed me hard and gave me this weird look. Said, sorry, babe. Work stress. I'll make it up to you tonight. He paused. She meant it. That night, after we tucked you in, she was different. All over me, trying hard. I didn't think much of it then. His tone dropped. Next morning, she was gone. Left a note. Made Kate breakfast. Off to a meeting. Love you. I bought it. But something didn't feel right. He looked up at her. Life looked fine. I was pulling jobs all over. Planes, cars, custom rigs. She kept coaching. You were crushing school. But that itch in the back of my head wouldn't stop. Kevin's face darkened. Then I saw Janice. She worked with your mom. We ran into each other at the store. I joked about that teacher meeting Christina said she had. Janice froze. Said, we didn't have a meeting last week. He leaned in. I lied. Said I must have got mixed up. But inside, I knew. I knew something was off. He rubbed his hands together, jaw tight. I set it up. Took a day off. Told Christina I was working. Drove out like normal, but parked at Phil's shop, swapped cars, took his old Impala, parked a few blocks from home. Waited. He stared hard into Kate's eyes. Your mom left, like always. You were at school. I followed her. 15 minutes out of town, she pulled into a motel. Kate's face dropped. She went in alone. Came out holding hands with Jeffrey O'Neill, the school super, that same meathead from her high school. 6'1", built like a fridge, cocky as hell, known for playing dirty. Always thought he was top dog. Kevin's jaw clenched. We'd met before at a school thing. He tried flirting with her. I told him back off. He shoved me. I bent his wrist till he pissed himself. Your mom got mad at me. Said I embarrassed her. He shook his head. Now I think I went too easy on him. Kevin looked away, voice like steel. I followed them back to his car. They had a bag. I bounced at a strip club in my 20s. I know a bag of adult toys when I see one. He paused, then kept going. I followed him home, took notes. I wanted to know everything. Where he lived, who he saw, what he drove. Then I went back home like nothing happened. His eyes burned. I walk in the door, and there she is. Christina, humming, smiling, cooking my favorite marinated chicken. Kissed me like she didn't just have another man's tongue in her mouth. He stared down at the table. I wanted to lose it, right there. But I didn't. I played dumb. I smiled. I said, "How was your day?" She kissed me again and said, "Rough, but I think the results will pay off in the end." Kevin leaned back, face calm but heavy. He reached into the binder, pulled out an old phone, and handed it to Kate. "It's ready. Just hit play." Her hands shook as she did. The video rolled. Her face twisted. Shock, disgust, heartbreak. There was her mom, wrapped up with some dude, his hand all over her. Laughing. Kissing. Giddy as hell when the black bag came out. The bag Kate knew too well. Then, hand in hand, they walked into the hotel. Screen went black. Kate jumped up and ran outside. Seconds later, Kevin heard her throwing up in the yard. He didn't follow, just sat there quiet. Not ashamed, just sorry. He knew her whole world just cracked. She thought she had one parent left to believe in. That was gone now. When she came back, pale and shaking, he handed her a glass of water. I didn't know," she whispered. "She never said she cheated. Told me you left. Said you found some other woman. I hated you. I blamed you." She broke down. "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry." Kevin gave her a look, hard but kind. "It's done. Let it go." He took a breath. "After I found out, I used my PTO. My boss backed me, HR too. They knew I gave it my all. Paid leave, no questions, gave me time to move." He leaned in. "I didn't tell Christina I was off, kept the act, still going to work each day, she never asked. I found this firm, Stockman's Law, run by two brothers, Baxter and Barney." Kevin gave a small smile. "Baxter? Monster in court. Used to be a top DA. Switched to family law after his best friend lost his kids. Kids he raised but didn't father. Friend eliminated his ex, her new guy, then himself. Left one word on a note. Why? That broke Baxter. Changed his whole path. Pause. Barney was a Philly cop. Took down gangs, butchers, big names. His wife, Nia, also a cop, got shot while helping IA sniff out a trafficking ring inside the department. Rumors got out. She got hit. 4 shots, 1 to the head. Lived only 'cause an old lady found her. The cop with her did nothing. The dirtbags walked after a key witness died. Kevin's voice hardened. Barney quit. Took his payout, grabbed his wife, and said, "Screw the system." He joined his brother. They swore they'd help people who got screwed over. They set up shop in central PA. Kevin looked off. I went in. Baxter greeted me, said, "Mr. Smith, wish we met under better terms." I told him, "Let's just win." Gave him the tape. Told him no patch-ups, I wanted out, but clean. Quiet. I asked them to follow her for a month. He glanced at Kate. I had money saved. Hidden, legal, my name only. She had no clue I had close to $1 million stashed. I told Baxter to track the guy, Jeffrey. Gave permission to wire the house, the cars, everything was mine. Kevin's jaw tightened. Barney said something rough. If I wanted her to keep thinking I was clueless, I'd have to sleep with her a few more times. Keep the act. I didn't care anymore. She came to me a few nights later. I gave her what she wanted, but cold. No love. Just used her. She moaned like it was the best she ever had. He looked sick just saying it. She whispered, "Damn, you wore me out, babe," and passed out smiling. That night, I promised myself I'd never touch her again. Kevin's voice dropped. Told her I had a work trip. Said I'd be gone a few weeks. She played sad. I knew better. I wasn't traveling. I went to a cabin I bought with inheritance money. She never knew it existed. I stayed in touch with Baxter. Barney kept tracking. He met Kate's eyes. They sent more tapes. Some were just meetups, others, they were in our house, in my bed. 2 weeks in, Baxter called me in, said, "We got it all? You sure you want to see this?" I said, "Yeah." No hesitation. Kevin leaned forward, tone flat. I sat down, watched my marriage die on screen. His face turned hard. What I saw, it wasn't just cheating, it was sick. She never did any of that stuff with me. 10 years together, nothing like this. She only pulled out tricks once. That same night, she tried to cover her tracks. He stared into space. She was in bondage, toys the size of my arm, crawling like a dog. He used her like meat, and she loved it. She laughed while he degraded her. Kevin shook his head, voice low and sharp. It wasn't Zach's, it was a joke on me. Kevin's voice cracked. The worst part, it wasn't that they did it in my bed, it was the crap they said while doing it. Jeff called me a punk, said I couldn't please her, and she laughed, said, "Not like you. My husband's a joke. You're a real man." Kevin shut his eyes. I turned it off, couldn't take more. He reached into the binder, pulled out a disc, and handed it to Kate. She stared at it. "Is this?" "Yeah, that's the proof. Your mom and Jeff." Kate didn't scream, didn't talk, just cried quiet. Kevin softened a little. "Now the rest." He sat forward. After that, I stepped out. Baxter and Barney were waiting. I told them, "Get the papers ready, but don't serve them yet, not till I hit back, both of them." We needed a plan. No slip-ups, they were in. Kevin's eyes narrowed. I told Barney, "Get more dirt, not just for me. For Jeff's wife, too. I wanted her to see it. Told the guys to set up a meeting on the same day I served the papers." He leaned back. I didn't do much after that. Just sat in the hotel staring at the wall. My life, everything I built, just cracked. His voice went quiet. Used to feel like we were some cheesy love story. Nerdy guy gets the cheerleader, but the minute I really broke down, that's when I knew. She never loved me like I loved her. He stared past her. She helped me when I lost Grandpa, Captain Bill. World War II vet, 101st Airborne. Freed my grandma from a camp. He was my hero. We watched old Doctor Who the night before. Next day, he didn't wake up. Kevin glanced at Kate. Your mom held me together back then. I thought she was real. Kate blinked. She got in a crash, right? Kevin nodded. Yeah, wreck was bad. She and her best friend Rebecca were hit by some drunk. Rebecca got crushed. Your mom barely made it. Driver tried to run, but a neighbor saw the whole thing. His fists clenched. I helped her recover. She was a wreck. When it went to court, she gave that drunk hell. Showed pics, her and Rebecca as kids, then one from the concert, and then one from the autopsy. His voice dropped. She screamed at the girl, said, "Look what you did." Rebecca's head was gone. He looked away. She helped me through hell. I helped her through hers. Told her not to fall apart. Told her I don't keep weak people around. She snapped back, won another title, said it was for me and Rebecca. He gave a sad smile. She wasn't just the first girl I slept with. She was my best friend. Then his face went cold. But I missed one thing, or didn't want to see it. One day, I came home early. Thought I'd catch her in the act. But she was shocked to see me. Played it cool. I made up a lie, said work needed me out of state. She bought it. He tapped the binder. Once, slow. She wanted me that night, he said. I gave in, played the part, but I already knew what I'd do next. Kate frowned. What do you mean? He didn't answer right away, just tapped the binder again. When she passed out, he said, I went into your room, watched you sleep, my kid, my reason, and I knew this was it. His voice dropped to a whisper. I called Baxter, told him, send the pics to Jeff's wife, we need to talk. He looked down, then continued. Next day, I got a text. No name, just Silver Spoon Diner, 3 p.m., don't be late. He glanced at Kate. I showed up, saw her right away. Long dark hair, green eyes, pretty face. Nothing flashy, just a plain dress. She waved me over. I sat down. Her eyes were red. She'd been crying. He leaned forward. Then she said, I saw the proof. My husband, and that witch you married. He paused. She winced right after and said, sorry, I didn't mean... He held out his hand as if recreating the moment. I touched her hand, told her, I'm not mad. You've got every right to be pissed. You deserve the truth. He motioned like sliding a folder across the table. I gave her everything. Photos, hotel bills, screenshots. She used my money to buy that prick jewelry, designer shirts, whole damn affair on my dime. He let out a bitter laugh. Classy, huh? Kevin stood up a little straighter, then mimed offering a handshake. "For what it's worth," he said, "I'm sorry, Mrs. O'Neill." He gave a small nod. She looked up at me and said, "April, my name's April, and I'd like your lawyer's number." He let that hang for a beat. "I didn't expect that. Even broken, she still had grace," he sighed. I gave her Baxter's card, then I left. He looked past Kate for a second before going on. That night, I headed to Stockman's office, told them April might be coming in. Then I said, "I want Jeff served at work. I'll take care of Christina myself." Kevin smiled faintly. Baxter stood up, shook my hand, then pulled me into a hug. He dropped his voice again. "Whatever goes down," he told me, "we got your back. You're going to win this." Kevin nodded once, like he was still in that moment. Then I walked out, headed home. He paused again, voice quieter now. I knew she wouldn't be there. Middle of the day, she was always out. He looked around the room like he was seeing something else. I stepped into the living room, and it wasn't just walls and furniture anymore. It was memories. He closed his eyes briefly. We were young, broke. First dinner here was KFC on the floor. Too tired to cook. We made love on that old couch. He turned to Kate, his voice softening. "You used to climb that couch just to watch Ninja Turtles," he said. "I wanted to show you everything I loved when I was a kid. I even saw our first real fight in that room, about me working too much. And I remembered how we made up after. Tears, laughs, hugs." He blinked quickly, holding back emotion. "You and your mom singing karaoke," he said. "Badly. I filmed it. You passed out on my lap. She was out cold on my shoulder." His voice cracked on the next line. "I didn't cry for the house," he said. "I cried for the life we built there." Then he stood up slowly. "I left the divorce papers on the table," he continued. "Her wedding ring, a disc with everything, photos, receipts, messages, and I left a note." He looked at Kate. It said, "Hope it was worth it." He drew in a slow breath. "I packed my stuff," he said, "and I walked out. For good." There was a pause before he continued. A few hours later, the phone started going crazy, blowing up with calls, texts, voicemails. His voice flattened, growing cold. "Baby, pick up. It's not what it looks like. Don't throw us away. I love you." Kevin's tone hardened. I wanted to reply, he said. God, I wanted to scream that I didn't throw anything away. She did. She brought him into our bed and laughed while he insulted me. He stopped, jaw clenched, the silence stretching for a moment. "But I didn't answer," he said finally. "She didn't earn that." He turned to Kate, looking her straight in the eyes. "Didn't see her again till court. I moved out of state, worked remote. Only Baxter and the court had my new address. I kept the old phone she kept texting, saved it all, stored it in a bank box, got a new phone, new number, new life." Then a flicker of a smile. "Guess what happened to Jeff?" He leaned in. April kicked him out. Game night. He walked in, thinking beer and football. She had the Zex tape ready, played it in front of his friends, then slapped him, grabbed her bags, and walked. No fight, no kids, just done. Kevin chuckled. And while he's rubbing his face, stunned as hell, someone taps his shoulder. "Jeffrey O'Neill? Yeah? You've been served." He smirked faintly. "I stayed out of it," he said. "Let Baxter run point. Your mom and Jeff stuck together for a while. I guess two liars couldn't afford rent on their own." He leaned back, shoulders loose. Then came court day. She was already there, sitting next to her lawyer. Looked rough, sunken eyes, thinner than ever. Makeup didn't help. You could see the wreck underneath. She tried to hug me. Kevin's face darkened. Baxter stepped in, blocked her. He paused, then added, "Her lawyer was some fresh-faced kid, all smile, no spine." Kevin chuckled dryly. Baxter turned to him and said, "Control your client. She ain't sitting with me for a reason." The kid just grinned. "They're a great couple," he said. "One mistake doesn't eliminate a family." Kevin shook his head slowly. Baxter shut him down fast. Told him, "Save it for the judge. That's why we're here." He exhaled through his nose. The kid looked like he wanted to argue, but then the judge walked in and that shut him right up. Kevin's voice tightened. Christina's lawyer got up first. All charm, all fake. Said she owned her mistake. Claimed she didn't want money, just a chance to fix things. He painted her like some lost wife who came home to an empty house and a note. Said I never gave her a chance to explain. Then he brought you into it. Said a child was caught in the middle. Asked for counseling. Said if I refused, they'd sue me for emotional distress. He clenched his jaw. I damn near snapped the armrest. I wanted to stand up and shout. He paused. But then Baxter's hand landed on my arm, steady. That look that said, I got this. Kevin's eyes narrowed slightly, remembering every word. Baxter stood smooth and calm, looked the judge in the eye. Your Honor, he said, my client wants to move on. He's giving up the house to the same woman who made a choice, not a mistake, to cheat. And we have proof. This wasn't a slip. It was deliberate. It was repeated. If he stays tied to this, it'll tear him apart emotionally. He nodded once, as if still there. Judge gave a nod. Then the hearing started. Kevin rubbed the back of his neck. Christina's lawyer tried spinning the whole thing, said she was hurt, that I worked too much, that leaving without a word was cruel. Then his voice sharpened. But then Baxter stood up and cut through all of it. Asked her point blank, Mrs. Smith, did you cheat on your husband? He didn't blink. She looked down and said, yes, I did. I'll regret it forever. He tilted his head slightly, mimicking Baxter's calm stare. A mistake, huh? Baxter asked. Was Jeff forcing you? Kevin let the silence stretch. She blinked. What? He tapped his finger lightly. It's a fair question, Baxter said. You called it a mistake, so Jeff just tripped and fell inside you? Kevin let the line hang. Her lawyer jumped up, shouted, objection! He smirked slightly. Judge slammed the gavel. Watch your mouth, counselor. Baxter just gave a polite nod, said, just proving how dumb the word mistake sounds here. May I continue? Kevin's tone deepened. Then he asked her if she had some brain chip that made her cheat. She gasped, said no, and that's when he pressed harder. Kevin looked at Kate. So let's be clear. You chose to sleep with another man? She stayed silent, tears already building. Judge leaned in. Mrs. Smith, verbal response. Kevin exhaled. She whispered, yes. Louder, the judge said. Kevin's hand clenched. She snapped. I said yes, damn it. Watch your tone, the judge warned. But Baxter just raised a hand, calm as ever, told the judge, it's okay. Tensions are high. Then turned back and said, you said it happened once? Kevin's face went cold. She looked right at me, then down again, said, it happened a few times. He leaned forward, voice low. That's when Baxter pulled out the disc and the envelope. Your Honor, he said, more proof of Mrs. Smith's infidelity. May we play the disc? The judge gave a nod. Kevin closed his eyes for a moment. The moment it started, you could hear it. Moaning, panting, loud, no mistaking it. She froze, face pale. Everyone knew where it was filmed. Quiet lookout spot outside town. The same one where I first asked her out. His voice cracked. And she still had her wedding ring on. The one I gave her. He looked away. It crushed me. Then came the photos. Cheap motels, dinners. Handing him her underwears under the table. And then our bed. My bed. He paused again, swallowing hard. The judge shifted in his seat. I couldn't even look. Christina lost it, broke down, covered her face, sobbing like a child. He took a breath. Court's adjourned till next month, the judge said. Kevin stood, his voice quiet. I didn't look back. Wasn't my job to fix her anymore. He looked at Kate. At the door, someone was waiting. April? I blinked. Why are you here? She smiled, soft, said, you gave me the truth I didn't want to hear. I figured the least I could do was be here for yours. Kevin's voice warmed slightly. I thanked her. She laughed and said, also, my divorce is right after yours. 2 for 1 special. He chuckled once. Mind if I stick around? I asked. Return the favor. I'd really like that, she said. He paused for a long moment. So I stayed, like she had. He glanced to the side. When Jeff saw us sitting together, he froze, his jaw clenched, eyes full of hate. Kevin's stare hardened. I looked right back, calm, cold, thought, go ahead, give me a reason. He shook his head. Jeff blinked first. That smirk dropped, shoulders sank. Kevin leaned forward. April's case went down the same way. Jeff tried lying, blamed her, denied everything. Then his voice grew heavier. But then she played her tapes, high res, crystal clear, brutal. He looked down. April didn't flinch, just sat there, but you could feel it, every second cutting her deeper. When it ended, she turned to me, glassy eyes, voice shaking, said, get me out of here, please? Kevin's jaw tightened. That's all she had to say. I got us out fast. We didn't talk. We were both drained, hollow. We stopped for food, not for fun, just to fill the hole. Maybe figure out why we weren't enough for the people we gave everything to. He smiled faintly, painfully. We didn't know it yet. But something was starting. Not love. Not yet. Just two wrecked people finding comfort in each other's pain. He paused, looking at Kate. I thought it was just having someone to sit beside while life sucked. He chuckled lightly. Drinks came. Neither of us touched them. We just stared at the ice like maybe it had answers. His voice softened again. Then April spoke, said, I don't get it. Did I do something wrong? Miss a sign? I did everything. Cooked what he liked. Washed his clothes. Stood by him when people turned. Helped him after his brother died. When he lost his scholarship, when his friends ditched him. I stayed. Kevin's expression fell. She said, I gave him everything. Loved him like crazy. Made him feel like a damn king in bed. And somehow, I still wasn't enough. His voice lowered. She broke right there. I reached over, pulled her in. He smiled faintly. Diner was almost empty. The cook looked worried. We waved him off. He brought free drinks while we waited. After a while, she stopped crying. I looked at her and said, unless you cheated or ghosted him, this ain't on you. You stood tall when others bailed. You were loyal, kind, gave a damn. You're smart, gorgeous. You've got a heart most people don't. If a man walks out on that, he's a goddamn idiot. Kevin blinked slowly. She gave a teary smile, leaned in, kissed my cheek, said, thanks, Kevin. I mean it. We ate after that. Quiet, no more crying. His face turned still. That wasn't the end of us. Court was set again for next month. Until then, we just kept in touch. Checked in, no drama, no hate. Just human. He looked off to the side. She was 24, no kids. I was older, no talk of feelings. But the pain we shared, it built something. Then his jaw clenched. Meanwhile, Christina's friends and family started coming after me, called me trash, a deadbeat, said I abandoned her while she was confused. He shook his head once. Later, I found out some of those same people helped cover her cheating. His voice dropped. I made a mental note. I'd deal with them. Just not yet. Kevin took a breath. Next court date came, he said. But this time, Christina and her team weren't begging. They were demanding counseling. He gave a bitter smile. I didn't react. I was done. His voice flattened. Even the judge raised an eyebrow. He looked down for a second, then went on. Then they gave their big speech, rehearsed like a high school play. The lawyer stood up and said, Your Honor, my client admits her wrongs. She's not asking for cash, just a chance. Their child cries for her father every night. Should a kid suffer because her parents failed? Kevin's lips pressed tight. A tear slid down my face. He looked at Kate, eyes softening. I didn't say a word. Then he reached over, pulled an envelope from the binder, and laid it on the table between them. Before I go on, he said quietly, you need to know, I always loved you. With everything I had, but what I did next, I had to. He met her eyes. Then I told her the rest. He shifted in his seat, recalling every beat. Baxter stood, calm as ever. Your Honor, we request Mrs. Smith return to the stand, he said. Kevin nodded slightly. It was rare, but nobody stopped it. He looked toward the past, voice steady. Baxter turned to Christina, said, Thank you for being honest. There's been pain, no doubt. But your willingness to own it, that matters. He paused. Christina nodded, said, I'll never forgive myself. I hurt the man I love. I still love him. I want to do right. Kevin's face gave nothing away. I said nothing, showed nothing. Then his voice dropped. And then Baxter dropped it. Kevin's tone sharpened. Mrs. Smith, who is Kate's real father? He stopped for a second, like reliving the explosion. The whole room went still. Christina froze. The judge looked stunned. Her lawyer shot up. Objection! This is trash. What's the point of this? He shook his head. Baxter stayed cool, said, Your Honor, I'll back this up with proof. Kevin's eyes narrowed. The judge stared him down. One shot, counselor. No games. Kevin nodded slowly. Baxter said, Thank you, Your Honor. Then he turned back to her and asked again, Mrs. Smith, who's Kate's father? Kevin's voice chilled. Her face twisted with rage. She snapped, My husband, Kevin Smith! No hesitation, no doubt. She believed it. He leaned forward slightly. Baxter didn't argue. Just pulled out a sealed envelope, held it up. Your Honor, this is a DNA test. It proves my client is not the father of the child he raised. He paused. Kate's breath caught in her throat. Kevin didn't flinch. I let the truth land, he said. Didn't move, just listened. He sat in the silence a moment. It felt loud, like a bomb had dropped. You could hear gasps, whispers, people staring like they couldn't believe it. Then Baxter said it flat. "We tested Mr. O'Neill, too. He's not the father either." Kevin closed his eyes. That pushed the room over the edge. People lost it. Total chaos. He tapped the table gently. The judge slammed the gavel. "Court's in recess. 1 hour." Kevin looked out the window like he could still see that moment. I stepped outside. April was already there. She'd had her divorce that morning. Turns out Jeff had a thing for married women. One day he got caught by a husband who came home early. The guy snapped, knocked his wife, then kicked Jeff bad enough to put him in the hospital. He paused. Jeff didn't leave the hospital. His voice turned hollow. He died. Kevin's fingers drummed once on the binder. April got $150,000 from his death benefits, insurance, savings, all that. Walked with $300 total, but happy? That's not the word. He shook his head slowly. She sold the house, the cars, moved into a one-bedroom, paid a year up front, then just tried to figure out what came next. He exhaled sharply. The guy who eliminated Jeff got arrested. Judge called it temporary insanity, a crime of passion. He walked. His wife, half blind, half deaf, he left her, vanished. Kevin looked down. Later that day, me and April sat for lunch. I told her, "I'm real sorry you're going through this." He smiled faintly. She nodded, voice low, said, "Thanks, Kevin. You know what's crazy? I just found out my husband was screwing everyone behind my back, lying, playing me, and I still miss him. How dumb is that?" She laughed, bitter as hell. Kevin's jaw clenched. Then she said, "I should hate him. He wrecked me, and I still love him. What the hell is wrong with me?" Kevin looked across the table at Kate as if pulling her into the memory. I reached over, took her hand, told her, "Ain't nothing wrong with you. You're grieving the life you thought you had. That's not weakness. That's human. You gave your all. He just wasn't worth it." He went quiet for a moment. She looked at me, still holding my hand, said, "Thank you for saying that, for being here." Kevin's eyes softened. And then she looked at me different, like maybe I was the someone she needed. He gave a breath of a smile. We were close, real close, didn't even notice. Then the spell broke. My phone rang. Baxter. Kevin chuckled. "Judge is ready," he said. 20 minutes. Be there." He looked at Kate, lighter now. I smiled at April. It said, "Rain check? Next Friday. 8?" She smiled back. "I'd like that." Then his face turned solemn again. Back in court, everyone showed up. Christina looked dead inside, like something in her had caved in. He tilted his head slightly. Maybe she heard about Jeff. Kevin's voice steadied. The judge looked around and said, "I've been in family court over 20 years. My job isn't drama, it's doing what's best for all sides." Then he turned to me. "Mr. Smith, you're also filing against the school district, yes? Claiming Mr. O'Neill used school time and resources during the affair?" "Yes, Your Honor," I said. Kevin folded his arms across his chest. The judge turned to Christina, said, "Marriage is trust. It's a vow, through hell and high water. When you break that, it breaks more than the bond. It breaks the home. Mrs. Smith, you made that choice. You carry that weight." He nodded once. Then he looked at me. "Mr. Smith," he said, "though you are not the biological father, you raised this child with love. But given the damage done, this court grants the divorce. No child support, no alimony. The house will be sold. Profits split. Both keep their own retirement funds." Kevin closed his eyes for a moment. Then the judge said, "I hope you both find peace. Court's adjourned." He leaned back, his voice turning soft. Baxter shook my hand, clapped my back. Kevin hesitated. Then I saw Christina, pale, blank. She walked over, slow, like her soul was running on fumes. She stopped right in front of me. Kevin's jaw moved slightly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. He didn't blink. Then she turned and walked out of the courtroom. His voice thinned. "And out of my life." He stared past Kate. The weeks after blurred. Paperwork, calls, sold the house. I planted that for sale sign in the yard and just stood there, crying. He swallowed hard. That house was more than wood and paint. It held a life I thought was real. Kevin nodded once. After the sale, I walked with $168,500. Work offered me a higher-up position. Some travel involved. I took it. Moved out of state, cut the ties, no looking back. He looked at Kate now. She held the paper in her hand like it burned. Tears streamed down her face. No sobs, just silent, leaking pain. Kevin watched her, quiet, waiting. Then Kate whispered, "You're not my dad." He gave a slow nod. "No," he said gently, "I'm not." She looked up at him, her eyes raw and red. "She told me you ran," she said. "Said you left for some other woman. I blame myself. Thought it was me, that I pushed you away." Her voice faltered, thick with emotion. "But I still had Mom. She was my truth. Or so I thought." Then her tone sharpened, cracked. "But none of it was real," she said. "You didn't leave me." She lied. "The guy in her bed? Not even my real dad. And the one who is? I don't even know his name. I don't know anything. I'm just a mistake, a joke." Kevin didn't interrupt. He just reached for the binder, pulled out a folder and placed it on her lap. Her hands shook as she opened it. Inside, a photo of a man she'd never seen, and a DNA report. Kevin's voice was steady. "His name's Michael O'Donnell," he said. "Went to school with your mom, Irish, 5'9", lean build, ex-Army major, lives in Colorado now." Kate looked up, confusion on her face. Kevin continued. "I don't think he knew she was with me," he said. "Maybe he did, maybe not. But your mom cheated on me with him. I think she knew the truth and buried it. After court, I used the money from the lawsuit to track him down." He looked her in the eye. "Not for me, for you." Kate stared at the photo in silence. Then she dropped it and lunged forward, hugged him tight. "I'm so sorry, Kevin," she cried into his chest. "Sorry for what she did to you." He hugged her back, firm, protective. "You don't owe me an apology, kid," he said. "You didn't do anything wrong." Then the sound of tires on gravel cut the silence. Kate turned as a black SUV rolled into the driveway. 3 people stepped out. The driver, a striking woman in her early 40s, fit and graceful, moved with quiet confidence. Her hair was tied back, her eyes sharp but warm. Next to her, a tall teen boy, 6'1", broad shoulders, brown hair, blue eyes like frozen lakes. And beside him, a girl, same height, same face, same unmistakable energy, twins. Kate stood slowly, staring at them. Before she could ask anything, Kevin rose to his feet and walked toward the woman. He didn't say a word, just kissed her, deep, familiar, like time had stopped. Then he pulled back and said softly, "Hey, April. My love." He kissed her again, smiling into it. Behind them, the girl groaned with a grin. "Oh my God, get a room." Kevin turned, laughing. "Y'all really doing this in front of the kids?" she added. The boy chuckled. "Tara, they've been like that since before we were born. Chill." Tara rolled her eyes and nudged him. "Shut it, Marcus. You always got some comeback." Marcus winked. "Means I'm smart." Kevin called out, "All right, sitcom moment's over. We've got company." He turned back to April. "Go help your mom with the bags," he said to the twins. Then, quieter, to her, "April, can I talk to you for a sec?" She smiled and nodded, then noticed the figure standing by the porch. Her eyes locked onto Kate. She froze. Her expression shifted, something between surprise and realization. Kevin stepped beside her. "This is Kate," he said quietly. "From my first marriage." April blinked, voice barely above a whisper. "You look just like her." Kate's shoulders tensed. Kevin touched her arm gently. "She didn't mean it like that." "No," April said quickly. "I didn't. You just really take after your mom." She motioned toward the porch. "Come on, let's sit." They sat on the porch, Kevin, April, and Kate, shoulders close, a breeze cutting gently through the late afternoon air. No one rushed. No one filled the silence too quickly. Kate looked down for a second, then began quietly. "I grew up thinking he left," she said, "that he didn't want me, that I did something wrong." Her voice trembled. "Mom said he met someone else. Said he walked out and never looked back." Kevin didn't move. He just listened. "She made it sound like you didn't care," Kate added, eyes on him now. "Like I didn't matter. And I believed her." April reached out slowly, placing a hand over Kate's. "I'm so sorry," she said softly. Kate shook her head. "She lied for years. Never told me anything real. I didn't even know his name until recently." Silence again. Then Kate looked at them both. "So, when'd you two meet?" Kevin and April exchanged a glance. He smiled, a little crooked. "Believe it or not," he said, "dumb luck." Kate raised an eyebrow, waiting. Kevin leaned back in the chair, the memory warming his voice. "After the divorce, I moved out here, started working remote, took mobile repair gigs to stay busy. One snowy afternoon, I got a call, news van stuck on a farm road." He nodded toward April. "Guess who was behind the wheel?" Kate turned to her. April let out a soft laugh. "I used to study media before I married Jeffrey," she said. Dropped it after we got hitched. But after the divorce, I went back. Got a job at the local station. She smiled. That day, our van died in the middle of nowhere, and the mechanic who showed up was Kevin. They both smiled at the memory, like a shared secret wrapped in snow and timing. Kate watched them quietly, a flicker of something gentler in her eyes. We hadn't seen each other in a year, Kevin said. But it clicked. We swapped numbers, started talking again. Took time. Trust was hard, but we got there. Got married a year later. Then came the twins. April stood, walked to Kate, and hugged her tight. Kate, I'll be real with you. When I saw you, I got scared. Not of you, just scared of what it might mean, but this isn't your fault. Or Kevin's. I'll defend him till the end. No man should be forced to raise a kid that ain't his, especially not when he's been lied to. She paused. What happened to you was wrong. I won't deny that. But try and see it from his side. He loved your mom, thought you were his, and every hug, every smile was a reminder of the lie. That kind of pain, most people don't come back from it. Kate wanted to say yes, but deep down she knew the truth. No, she whispered. I couldn't. She broke down in April's arms. After a moment, April pulled back and wiped Kate's cheek. We're about to eat, April said gently. If Kevin's good with it, and you are, I'd love for you to stay. Kevin nodded. Kate did too. Dinner felt like a dream, loud, warm, real, a table full of laughs and stories. It was the kind of love Kate hadn't felt in years. Not since she was little. Her bond with her mom had faded over time, gotten cold. Like every time Christina looked at her, she saw a mistake she couldn't fix. Kate didn't hate her. But after today, they had to talk. The twins opened up. Tara was deep into art and poetry, had won national awards. Marcus, state champ in wrestling, smart as hell, heading toward NASA, a brain and a beast. Everyone called him the jock nerd. And even though her day had started with her screaming and swinging at Kevin, by dessert she felt like part of the family. Later that night, Kevin and April walked her out to the curb where her Uber waited. April touched her arm. Kate, I know you didn't have a dad in your life, and after all this, I know it's a lot. But just remember, what happened to you doesn't define you. Kate opened the door, paused, then looked back. Hey, I'm sorry about how this started. The whole attack you, get my A handed to me thing. Maybe once this calms down, we can talk again? Kevin smiled. So did April. Yeah, Kevin said. We'd like that. The car pulled off. Across town, Christina sat alone, another glass of wine in hand, lost in old memories. She had never really come back from the wreckage of her marriage. Every day she thought about the family she blew up, about how it was her fault. After the truth came out, the school put her on leave. Later she worked again as a tutor. She had her degrees, her name still meant something. And when COVID hit, tutoring boomed. Parents were scared or fed up with schools. Christina found her lane. She lived okay, but it cost her. Most of her time was spent dealing with her daughter. Wild, angry, hurt. She fought teachers, screamed at Christina, dated toxic guys, landed in jail once, pills, fights. It all came from the same place, thinking her dad bailed on her for no reason. Christina knew the truth, and every time she looked at her daughter, all she saw was a kid who just wanted her dad. And she hated herself for it. Her thoughts were cut off by the doorbell. She wiped her face, stood up, and opened the door. Kate stood there, eyes burning, a paper in her hand. Christina's face went pale. Where'd you get that? She asked, her voice already shaking. Why? Kate snapped. Why'd you let me grow up thinking he left me? That he cheated on you? That he ran off and didn't want me? That he hated me? Christina opened her mouth. Nothing came out. You played the sufferer, the poor wife left behind. But you were the one who cheated. Not just on Kevin, but on me. Kate's voice cracked. I'm not even his kid. And you knew that. Kate, please. What did you expect? That he'd raise someone else's kid and just smile through it? That he'd be your good little fool? Pretend it was all fine? Kate's eyes filled with tears. I loved you. Even with everything, I trusted you. Because you were Mom. You were supposed to tell the truth, but everything you told me about Kevin, about Jeff, about me was a damn lie. She held up the paper. My real father? Michael O'Donnell. Christina gasped like she'd been punched. Kate nodded. Yeah, he told me about you too. Said he didn't know you were with Kevin. Didn't even know I existed. Her voice dropped. Is it true? Christina's legs gave out. She fell to the floor, sobbing. I was young, dumb. It was supposed to be a fling. Kate's voice went cold. And you let Kevin pay the price. You let him think I was his. You let me grow up without him. You used him. Is that what I am? Some mistake you stuck on the wrong guy? No, baby. No, Christina cried. I love you. Always have. Then why'd you lie for 15 years? Christina looked up, face soaked, voice barely a whisper. I was scared. I never thought I'd get a man like Kevin. He gave me a real home. I messed up, but I never once regretted having you. I was weak. I tried to hide it. Thought I could delay the truth. But it caught me. And now, I've lost everything. She dropped to her knees, full breakdown. I broke the only man who ever loved me, and I took your dad away from you. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Christina dropped to the floor, broken, sobbing at her daughter's feet. Kate stood still. No yelling now, just pain, disgust, sadness. After a long silence, Kate finally spoke. I'm leaving, Mom. Christina looked up, her face wrecked. Kate's voice was soft. I don't hate you. I still love you. But the lies, the cheating, you broke us. Maybe I'll forgive you someday. Maybe I'll come back, but right now I can't. I won't. Christina nodded, too crushed to speak. Kate turned and walked to her room, grabbed a small bag, packed fast, just the basics. Back at the door, she looked at her one last time. The hotel's letting me stay there for now. I've been a good manager. I'll save up. Might get my own place. I don't know when you'll hear from me again, or if. She paused. Goodbye, Mom. Then she walked out. Christina followed, but only to the door. She didn't call after her. She didn't beg. She just stood there, watching the last piece of her life walk away. She turned toward the hallway mirror, stared at her reflection, pale, empty. Idiot, she whispered.